Hey there, how you doing? Are you in a situation where you or a loved one is moving into a retirement community or assisted living community or a memory care community where you're going to be having to sell your property? Well, if you are, you're going to want to watch this video because I'm going to give you some tips and suggestions in here that are going to save you thousands of dollars, okay? Number one, the most important thing is a lot of these communities have relationships with real estate agents who they recommend as their preferred agent. I would be very cautious on using who the agents are that they recommend, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, they like the agents because the agents sell the properties. Now, they don't really care about how much money you get for your house. They just want you to sell your house, okay? Because they want your money so you can move into their facility. So a lot of these facilities will use agents who sell houses very well and do a very good job. And they may be very nice, but they also are under pressure to continue to sell these homes fast. And if they don't sell these homes fast, then they get taken off their list. So in order to sell a house fast, a lot of these agents underprice the home to try to sell it quickly. A lot of these communities also have back-end agreements with real estate agents that a lot of people don't know about because they don't disclose this to the people who are moving into their community, where they actually make the real estate agent that they refer you to pay them a referral fee for your lead of selling your property, which is crazy. And some of them even offer like a rebate to you if you use one of their preferred agents. But what happens is the agents have to pay the referral fee. So, and they know they're not competing with any other agents in the industry because they're only using them on their preferred list. So they wind up charging you more commission than another agent would charge you. So that actually, you wind up paying for the rebate that you get. So where's the deal in that? You know, just something to think about. So I would say, you know, contact the agent in your local area. You know, I specialize in working with seniors. I've worked with countless seniors over 20 years of being in real estate, selling over 1,000 homes. I have in-laws now who are getting older, and I understand, you know, working with a lot of people that are around my age that have parents that are getting older and thinking about moving into a retirement home, that there's a lot of stuff that goes on, you know. There's a lot of stress, you know, and sometimes there's some animosity with the people not wanting to move, but they need to move because nobody's there to take care of them. And, you know, you really need to have somebody who understands the situation and is compassionate and actually cares about your situation. So that's why I invite you to contact me, and I'd be happy to help you out. Like I said, I have relationships with a lot of these different community sales directors and admissions coordinators around the greater Baltimore area. And I'm happy to, you know, let you know your options too, because sometimes you don't know what your options are, you know, when you're out there talking. You just walk into the community and you think that's the only option, but there might be other options out there where you don't have to pay, you know, a $400,000 or $500,000 entrance deposit just to walk into the community. You know, you might be able to not have to pay that. There might be other options where you don't have to buy in with such a large investment of your money. So it doesn't hurt to know what your options are. So give me a call. I'm happy to discuss that. And in terms of the house being the biggest asset and what you actually need to sell to get into the property or to get into the community, you know, sometimes these homes are outdated. You know, people have lived in their homes for a very long time. They haven't updated the kitchen, the bathrooms, the carpet, the wallpaper, you know, the pink tub, the green toilet, whatever. And, you know, you need to do that in order to sell in today's market to get top dollar, right? And I actually have a book that you can get if you want to get your free copy. Just let me know. I'm happy to provide you with a copy on how to sell your home top dollar, which goes over all the marketing I do, so you can see that. But I also take it a step further. I have contractors who renovate properties, a crew of contractors. They'll do anything in your house that you need to have done, and they're going to be a lot cheaper than anybody you're going to find on your own, because we give them a lot of work with all the renovation properties that they do for me and for my investors when we buy homes. So, if you need new flooring, I got people to do that. You need new bathroom, got people to do that. You need a new kitchen, got people to do that. For pennies on the dollar compared to what you're going to pay these other companies. Now, and that's great, if you have resources and you can actually pay to get the renovations done. But what if you can't pay to get the renovations done? Well, some of my contractors have agreements with me where they will work with my people and let them pay for the renovations at settlement instead of paying for them up front. So you can actually get the repairs and renovations done to your house without actually having to pay for the renovations out of your pocket. Another option is maybe get a home equity line of credit from your bank, since you probably own your house and you probably have a lot of equity there, and utilize that to pay for the renovations to be done. And then, some people, just say, look, man, that sounds great and all, but I really just don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I don't want to deal with the renovation. So how about we just try to sell it quick and call one of these guys on the side of the road that has a sign that says we pay cash for the houses. Well, I got something better than that for you. Okay. Like I said, I've been in the real estate business 20 years. I have legitimate investors. Many of them are actually real estate agents themselves, but they hire me, even though they're agents, they hire me to help them find properties, renovate properties, and they actually hire me to sell their own properties, even though they're real estate agents, as crazy as that sounds. But that's because they know I know what I'm doing. I do a good job. But we also, we offer people fair market value for their homes. So we give them top dollar based on the condition that it is. And we go over that. We show them all the comps. We sit down with them. I pull out my laptop. I pull up the MLS and I show them what all the neighbors are selling for. And we have an open, honest, and transparent conversation on, what things are actually selling for. And you see real time while we're there. You're happy, and we're happy to have your kids, other family members, whoever's going to be the decision makers helping you out and transition from your house into the next house at the appointment with us, so we can all sit down together. If it's a very large crowd, we have very large conference rooms in our actual offices where you can come and we can sit down in the conference room and put it up on the TV and everybody look at the comps at the same time and come up with, a price that's going to be fair for everybody. We're not like the guy on the side of the road. He wants to come in, offer you $150,000 under your actual price that you could sell it for, because he wants to steal all your equity and make all the money on your house. We want to offer you a fair deal because, believe it or not, some of my investors don't actually flip the property. They don't renovate it to sell it. They actually update it and upgrade it so that they can hold on to it and rent it, so they hold it in their portfolio as an investment property and rent the property out. So, they'll pay typically a little bit higher, actually a lot higher than a lot of these guys where you find the signs on the side of the road, or you go to Google and just call we pay cash houses, whatever. Call me, a legitimate real estate agent. I'm fully licensed. We have errors and omissions insurance. We can, do the paperwork, make sure everything's done properly, make sure everybody's protected, make sure all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, and we can do it for a much reduced rate. I mean, if we're not marketing the property and having to find a buyer and everything like that, we can do it for a flat fee and work this deal out. So all you got to do is just give me a call, let me be of assistance to you. And I can either get you a contractor to fix your house up and get it in tip-top shape so we can get top dollar for it if you have the time, and I'll give you the resources. Or you can say, you know what, I just want to sell my house fast, cash, as is. Take whatever you want out of it, leave whatever you don't want, and we'll settle in as soon as 7 days. As soon as the title company can get the title work done on the property, we'll settle, and you'll have your money. It'll be wired right to your account, and then you can use that to get into your assisted living facility. And they'll be happy. You'll be happy. We'll be happy. Everybody will be happy. And if it's a house that's really outdated and we wind up renovating it and reselling it, you'll be happy too, because we gave the house a facelift. We found some new owners who are going to love it and care for it just like you did. And it's kind of like a win-win for everybody. So, we've helped, I've helped thousands of families sell their houses. And every senior, I really treat with dignity and patience too, because I know this is not an easy process to go through. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to make decisions with all the decision makers. So, what to do next is simple. Pick up the phone, give me a call, 410-236-3331. Go to the description in this property. My cell phone will be there. My email will be there. Set up an appointment with me to come over to your house. I'll bring with me a free book on how to get top dollar for your house that I wrote in the shortest amount of time possible. I'll give that to you free at the appointment. So even if you want to try to sell your house on your own as a for sale by owner or whatever, you can use my marketing that I do, and I'll give you all my ideas. I'll tell you everything you need to do, and you can try it on your own, see if you can do it on your own. It's a free consultation. There's no strings attached whatsoever, and I think you'll see that I'm a solid resource for you, especially if you haven't made your mind up on where you're going to go in terms of what independent or assisted living facility you're going to go to. Because like I said, I know a lot of the ins and outs around here in the Baltimore area. And I know a lot of the good deals too. So, and my wife does too, because she worked in the business for 15 years. So, we're going to steer you the right way and try to find you the absolute best deal for you, and put you in a place that you really like to be in. With people that you like to be in, with an atmosphere that feels vibrant and young and living and lots of activities. I'm blown away. I go into these places all the time because I work closely with them. I have so many people moving in, and I'm just blown away by the amount of activities and things they have for their residents to do. Even I was just in an assisted living facility yesterday. And they take people out to lunch. They put them on the bus. They take them to restaurants. We're going to be doing an event, bringing some stuff to them at the facility, which will be kind of cool. And so just they have a lot of things. They got reading areas. They got internet access areas. They got dining plans. They got everything included. And that's kind of what it's all about in the retirement living, is that yes, you pay a fee that's a little bit more expensive than a regular apartment, but it covers everything that you need: laundry, food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and everything. You got to go and tour some of these places, because they're really nice, and they have a lot of amenities, but they're not all the same. Some are very expensive, and some are much more reasonable. So. If you want somebody who knows the ins and the outs, can help you sell your house, if you want to get top dollar, or can help you sell it to an investor who's legitimate, who's going to give you top dollar as well for the condition of the house, depending on the condition or location, give me a call, man. Set up an appointment. I'll come out, meet with you, and we'll talk about what we can do. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. And I'm always here to help if you need it. Take care and have a good one. God bless.